Listen, I need you to hear this, and not just hear it, but feel it deep in your spirit. You keep thinking everything you've been through was random. The heartbreak, the rejection, the loneliness. You thought it meant you weren't enough. No, it meant you were different. You were never meant to blend in with everyone else. No matter how hard you tried, there has always been something about you that felt different, something that made you think deeper, feel stronger, and see life from another perspective. At times, that difference felt like a burden. You may have questioned why you couldn't just fit in, why your path seemed harder, or why you had to face moments of loneliness that others didn't seem to understand. But what you once saw as a disadvantage is actually the clearest sign that your life has purpose written all over it. Nothing about your journey is random. Every delay, every closed door, every season where you felt isolated was not meant to break you, but to shape you. God allows separation before elevation. When He sets someone apart, He begins to remove distractions, distance them from environments that no longer serve them, and guide them into spaces where growth can truly happen. That process doesn't feel comfortable. In fact, it often feels like you're being left behind while everyone else is moving forward. But what's really happening is that you are being prepared for something they are not being prepared for. The struggles you faced were not meaningless. They were building strength in you that can't be taught any other way. The nights you spent alone taught you how to stand on your own. The moments of rejection taught you not to depend on people for validation. The confusion taught you how to trust even when you don't have all the answers. Every experience added something to your character, something that will be necessary for where you're going next. Being set apart also means being protected. Not everyone can go where you're destined to go, and not everything that looks good is meant for you. Sometimes God will remove people you love or opportunities you wanted simply because He sees what you cannot see. What feels like loss in the moment is often divine protection in disguise. It's not that you weren't good enough. It's that it wasn't aligned with your purpose. There is a calling on your life that requires a different kind of preparation. You are being built to carry something meaningful, something that requires strength, patience, and faith. That's why your journey looks different. That's why your timing doesn't match everyone else's. You are not behind, you are being refined. And one day, everything you went through will come together in a way that makes perfect sense. So instead of questioning why you feel different, begin to embrace it. Instead of seeing your struggles as setbacks, recognize them as stepping stones. You were set apart on purpose, and there is something powerful about your life that is still unfolding. Rejection has a way of making you question your worth. When people walk away, when doors close right in front of you, or when something you truly wanted doesn't work out, it can feel personal. It can feel like you weren't good enough, like you were overlooked, or like you somehow failed. But what if the very thing you saw as rejection was actually protection? What if God was stepping in, quietly redirecting your life, removing what didn't belong in your future? Not every opportunity is meant for you, even if it looks perfect on the surface. Not every relationship is designed to last, even if it once felt right. Sometimes we hold on tightly to things that are not aligned with where we are meant to go. We see potential, we see comfort, we see what we want, but God sees the full picture. He sees the end from the beginning. He knows which paths lead to growth and which ones lead to confusion, pain, or delay. So when something is taken away, it's not always a loss, it's often a rescue. Think about the times when someone left your life and it broke you. You didn't understand it. You replayed conversations in your head, wondering what you could have done differently. But as time passed, you began to see things more clearly. You started to realize that what you lost wasn't as perfect as you once believed. You saw the red flags you ignored, the misalignment you tried to force, the ways you were shrinking yourself just to make it work. That wasn't rejection, that was release. God was removing what couldn't support who you are becoming. The same goes for missed opportunities. There are doors you knocked on that never opened, chances you prayed for that never came through. At the time, it felt like disappointment. It felt like you were being denied something important. But later, you may have realized that if those doors had opened, they would have led you away from your true path. Sometimes a closed door is not God saying no forever, it's Him saying, not this. Because He has something better, something more aligned, something that fits the purpose He placed inside you. Rejection also builds something within you. It teaches you not to depend on external validation. It forces you to find your identity in something deeper than people's opinions. It strengthens your faith and helps you trust even when things don't make sense. Every no you've faced has been shaping you, refining your vision, and guiding you toward what truly belongs to you. It's important to understand that what is meant for you will not pass you by. You don't have to chase what God has already assigned to your life. What belongs to you will come with peace, not confusion. It will stay without you having to beg, prove, or lose yourself in the process. So when something leaves, let it go. When a door closes, don't force it open. Trust that rejection is not the end of your story. It's a redirection towards something greater. It's God clearing the path, making room for what truly aligns with your destiny. Pain has a way of making you feel like you're being punished. When life gets heavy, when things don't go the way you planned, when you're carrying burdens that nobody else seems to understand, it's easy to ask, why is this happening to me? It can feel unfair. It can feel like you're being singled out, like you're going through more than your share. But the truth is, your pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you. What you've been through is not punishment. It's preparation for something far greater than you can see right now. Every hardship you faced has been shaping you in ways comfort never could. Strength isn't built in easy moments. It's built in the times when you had to keep going even when you were tired, even when you felt like giving up. Those nights when you cried and still got up the next day, those seasons when you felt lost but kept moving forward anyway. That's where your resilience was formed. You didn't just survive those moments, you were being trained by them. You were learning how to endure, how to adapt, how to stand firm when everything around you felt uncertain. Pain also has a way of deepening your understanding. It teaches you things that no one can explain to you. It gives you wisdom that can't be learned from books or advice. When you've experienced struggle, you begin to see life differently. You become more aware, more discerning, more in tune with what truly matters. You stop chasing things that are temporary and start valuing what has real meaning. That wisdom is part of your preparation. It's equipping you to make better decisions, to choose wisely, and to walk in clarity when others are still confused. There were moments when you felt alone, when it seemed like nobody understood what you were going through. But even in that isolation, something powerful was happening within you. You were learning how to rely on God in a deeper way. You were learning how to find strength from within instead of constantly seeking it from others. That kind of inner strength is necessary for where you're going, because the purpose on your life requires stability, faith, and confidence that doesn't depend on circumstances. Pain also refines your character. It strips away pride, fear, and doubt, and replaces them with humility, courage, and trust. It forces you to confront parts of yourself that you may have ignored. It pushes you to grow, even when growth feels uncomfortable. And through that process, you become a better version of yourself, not perfect, but stronger, wiser, and more prepared. What you have to understand is that bigger purpose requires bigger preparation. You cannot carry something great with a weak foundation. So the challenges you faced were not there to hold you back, they were there to build you up. They were strengthening your foundation so that when the opportunities come, when the doors finally open, you'll be ready to handle them. One day, you will look back at everything you went through and realize it all had a purpose. The pain, the struggle, the waiting, it was all shaping you into the woman you were always meant to become. Delay has a way of testing your patience like nothing else. When you've been praying, waiting, hoping, and still nothing seems to move, it's easy to start believing that it's just not going to happen. You begin to question yourself. You wonder if you missed your chance, if you made the wrong decisions, or if what you've been asking for was never meant for you in the first place. But just because something hasn't happened yet does not mean it won't happen at all. Delay is not denial, it's a process, and more often than not, it's God working behind the scenes to get everything exactly right. Timing plays a powerful role in your life, and not everything can come to you when you want it. Some blessings require preparation, not just on your end, but in ways you cannot see. There are things being aligned, doors being arranged, people being positioned, and circumstances being adjusted that you have no awareness of. While you're waiting on the outcome, God is working on the details. What feels like stillness to you is actually movement in another direction. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the delay is about you. Not because you're not worthy, but because you're still becoming. There are lessons you need to learn, strength you need to build, and clarity you need to gain before stepping into what you've been asking for. If certain things had come into your life too early, you might not have been ready to handle them. You could have lost them just as quickly as you received them. So the waiting period is not wasted time, it's preparation time. It's where you are being shaped into someone who can sustain what's coming. Other times, the delay is about protection. There are situations that may look perfect right now, but aren't meant for your future. God can see what you cannot. He knows which opportunities will lead to growth and which ones will lead to setbacks. So instead of allowing you to step into something prematurely, He holds it back, not to frustrate you, but to protect you from what isn't aligned with your purpose. In those moments, it's important to trust that what is meant for you will not miss you. Waiting can feel uncomfortable because we live in a world that values speed and instant results. But some of the most meaningful things in life take time. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Real success takes time. And the more valuable the outcome, the more intentional the process tends to be. What God has for you is not rushed, not forced, and not temporary. It is built to last, and that kind of blessing requires the right timing. So instead of becoming discouraged in the delay, learn to find peace in it. Use that time to grow, to reflect, to strengthen your faith, and to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. Trust that even when nothing seems to be changing, something is still being worked on. The right doors will open at the right time, and when they do, you will understand why it couldn't happen any sooner. There were moments in your life when you truly felt forgotten. Times when you prayed and heard no answer. When you showed up for others, but no one showed up for you. When you gave your best and still felt overlooked. In those quiet, heavy moments, it's easy to believe that maybe God has moved on, that maybe you've been left behind while everyone else is being remembered and blessed. But the truth is, even in your lowest moments, God never left you, not for a second. Just because you couldn't feel His presence doesn't mean He wasn't there working, protecting, and carrying you through what you didn't even realize you were surviving. If you really look back over your life, you'll start to see it. There were situations that should have broken you, but somehow you made it through. There were times you felt like giving up, but something inside you wouldn't let you quit. That wasn't luck. That wasn't coincidence. That was grace. That was God keeping you, even when you didn't have the strength to keep yourself. You didn't survive everything you've been through by accident. You survived because you were chosen. Being chosen doesn't always feel the way people expect it to feel. It doesn't always come with immediate blessings, recognition, or ease. Sometimes being chosen means going through more, enduring more, and being stretched in ways others aren't. It means walking a path that feels lonely at times, because not everyone can understand what's on your life. But that doesn't mean you're forgotten. It means you're being set aside for something specific, something intentional, something greater than what you can currently see. There is a unique calling on your life, something that only you can fulfill in the way you were designed to do it. And everything you've gone through has been shaping you for that purpose. The pain you experienced gave you compassion. The struggles you faced gave you strength. The moments of silence taught you how to trust even when you didn't have answers. All of it is part of your story, and all of it has value. Nothing was wasted. The challenge now is not whether you are chosen. The challenge is whether you are willing to believe it and walk in it. It's time to stop seeing yourself through the lens of your past pain and start seeing yourself through the truth of who you are becoming. You are not what you went through. You are not defined by who left, what didn't work out, or how long it took. You are defined by the purpose that is still alive inside you, the strength that carried you this far, and the faith that kept you moving forward. Walking in that truth means letting go of doubt. It means no longer shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. It means trusting that your life has meaning even when everything isn't clear yet. You don't need validation from people to confirm what God has already decided about you. You are not forgotten. You are remembered, chosen, and called. And now it's time to rise into that identity in life like you truly believe it. At the end of it all, You have to understand that your life has never been random. Every moment, the pain, the rejection, the waiting, and even the silence has been part of a greater plan designed specifically for you. You were set apart on purpose, protected through rejection, strengthened through pain, and prepared through every delay. Even when you felt forgotten, God was right there, guiding every step you took. Nothing you went through was wasted. It was all shaping you into the woman you are becoming. Now it's time to stop questioning your journey and start embracing it. Walk with confidence, knowing that you are chosen for something meaningful. Trust the process, trust the timing, and most importantly, trust that God's plan for your life is unfolding exactly as it should. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning.